Right. Respected Chief Secretary Sir, Dr. Arun Kumar Mehta Sir, Deputy Commissioner State Excess, Dr. Rashmi Singhi, Director General Budget, Iddu Sir, other Director Generals, Director Finances, my dear colleagues and friends, a very good morning. To begin with, I would like to quote what Chanakya said about a tax administrator. He said a tax administrator should collect taxes the same way that a bee collects honey from flowers without disturbing the petals. So I think that, in my opinion, is the essence of taxation in a democratic setup. And today we are here, and I hope, and I'm sure that this is a very important day for us in terms of knowledge sharing, from learning from each other, so that at the end of the day we improve financial management, both on its revenue as well as the expenditure side. And that will invariably and inevitably reflect in positive things in the lives of our citizens. So, coming to GST, I will take all of you through the journey of GST. It was basically in 2017-18 that we moved from the erstwhile taxation regime to GST. And over these years, from 17-18, our GDP has grown from 1.396 lakh crore to 2.3 lakh crore, which is the estimates for the current financial year. So this has been the GSDP growth story. Let's see how the GSDP growth rate has been. So initially 17-18, it was in the 2 digits, then it came down to first digit, and then there was a COVID lockdown where the GSDP growth actually went into negative territory.
Makbul, 1 minute, 225 already पहुंचे.
Right, sir.
वो मस्ती का डेटा है, तो 2009 के आगे वो पहले था.
राइट सर, वो मैंने बजट का फिगर लिया है.
बजट का फिगर दिया आपने, लेकिन मस्ती का फिगर आपके 225 ऑलरेडी पहुंच गए.
ठीक है सर, स्टैंड करेक्टेड है सर.
No correction required. That only shows that things are better than people nowadays.
Right, sir. So, sir, if we want to compare how we have done as in GST taxation vis-a-vis GSTP, generally the GST taxation graph should follow the GSTP growth graph, and let's see how it has been. The GST revenues, as we see, the GSTP growth got slowed down in 19, 20, and 2021. The GST revenue as well showed a downward graph. And then from 21-22, when we came out of the lockdown, we had this repressed growth of many years, and the graph went up again. So this is the next slide. This is the GST growth percentage. Basically, in 1920, the GDP grew at 6, around 6 point something. But the GST growth percentage went as down as low as -10.2 to 29. Because obviously of the internet lockdown, a lot of people could not file their returns. So the GST growth went much below the GSTP growth. Sorry. In 2021, this story was same, but we had a very wonderful year in 21-22. So 21-22, as you can see, in 2019-20, the red line and the blue line are far apart, 6 and -10. But in 21-22, there is the reverse. The blue line is much ahead of the red line here. So basically what happened is that the negative growth of the previous 2 financial years was compensated in this financial year. A lot of people filed their returns, and the economy also bounced back from a low base. This was because of the COVID lockdown. And then we have moved to 22-23, where we have again the lines above, and we are expecting, if we consider a 15% growth, estimated figures for GST growth this year from the budget at 10%, and if we estimate 15% for the GST, we will continue that journey. Next slide. So these are the key takeaways that I was speaking about, the lockdown and then the growth going down, and then there being a low base and a reflection of that growth. So the takeaway main here is that for the 3 financial years, if we take a base from 18-19, 19-20, 21-21, 20-21, the average growth comes to 7%. Since it was negative for 2 financial years, then 35% something, so the average growth gets around 7 point something percent for these 3 financial years, and then in the last financial year we are at 12 to 13%. Next slide. So how are we doing nationally? So there is this GSDP GST ratio. We want to see what percentage of our GSDP is our GST. The last bar in the pink color there, the national average is 2.8. So these are figures from the PRS legislative as well as from the union budget. And I have kept some states from different categories here. For example, we have Maharashtra and Gujarat. These are states which are manufacturing states. Theirs is around, Maharashtra is 3.51 and Gujarat is lesser than that. Then we have Himachal and Uttarakhand states, which are Himalayan states like ours. They are also below JNK basically. So how has this GST GDP ratio evolved over the years? Let's take a look at that. Next slide. So it was basically at 18-19, it was 3.41. It went down because our GST growth was more negative than the GSDP growth. GSDP growth went down, but GST collection growth went much more down. So the GST GDP ratio came down and it kept at 2.88, 2.81, and then it jumped back when we had the normal year of 21-22 after the COVID lockdown, and it went to 3.33, and in 22-23 it is now 3.64, which is more than it was in 2018-19. So we can take a takeaway from this that the back step that we had taken, the downward loop that had been created because of the COVID, we have largely overcome that in terms of GST collections as a percentage of our GSDP. Next slide. Sir, what was the pre-GST position? I was making this data and then I decided let's take a look what was the VAT position. The VAT position was around 16-17 data. The VAT GSDP ratio at the time was 5%. One thing is that our GSDP has grown phenomenally then, that is one factor. Other factor is, sir, at the time we lost some revenue because in VAT we used to tax works contracts at around 40%. There was tax on tax. Inputs were taxed as well as the outputs. So the net tax was around 40%. Then, sir, we also had this toll tax which was abolished, and tobacco we used to tax heavily at 40%. The rates came down to 28% and we get only 14% out of that because half of it goes to central. So if we exclude these three at the onset of GST transition, the GST GDP ratio or VAT GDP ratio excluding these three was around 2.5% at the time as well. Next slide. Sir, as a percentage of our own tax revenue, these are figures taken from the budget. In 18-19, we were around 47% of our own tax revenue used to come from GST collections basically. And then it went down for two financial years, and now it has jumped back to 44%. If for this financial year we consider the estimated figures for GSDP growth are 10% nationally as well as for the UT of J&K, and let's presume a growth of 15% in GST, it would now come to 47%. So we'll be thereabouts again where we were in 18-19. Next slide. So this is the same thing in a line graph. We'll be going back where we were at around 47%. Next. Sir, this has been the performance over the last 5 months. We have consistently beaten the national average, and in fact not just beaten. For the last 3 months the data is here. For Feb we were 33%, national average was 15%. So this is the cash collection. It was basically double, and then this month April has been phenomenal. It's around 2.5 times the national average that we have. Sir, I want to just bring to notice one thing, sir. The SGST, next slide. Then SGST cash collection, sir, is the component of GST where we can have the maximum effect as tax administrators in J&K. Because, sir, the revenue that comes to the J&K government is of one, it comes from the cash collection within the UT. The other part is from the settlement that we get from the central government of the tax that has been paid by the purchasers of the UT to people outside the UP, and that has been collected as IGST on interstate supply, and then that settlement comes to us. Sir, as an impact, we can impact SGST cash directly, but as far as settlement is concerned, the only impact we can have is to make sure that people file their returns in time and correctly. Sir, so our basic focus in countering tax evasion has been on SGST cash, and we have basically taken this strategy that usually we have categorized tax evasion into 3 types. People who are outside the tax net. They are crossing the threshold, but they have not taken registrations. That is one category of people. Second category of people are on the tax net, regular taxpayers, but what they are doing is that they are suppressing their sales. They are only showing as much sales in their returns as are covered by their ITC already paid is taken. So, whatever value addition they are doing, they are not showing it in their returns. So this is the second category, and then we have a very dangerous category of people who are on the tax net not for the purpose of paying the tax. They are on the tax net for defrauding the system. They create fake registrations, they do fake invoicing, and then they actually help the category 2 people who are suppressing their sales, in liquidating their stocks, in paying their taxes out of thin air basically. So that is the three categories that we're looking at. And sir, the strategies. So the first category we have tried to increase the tax net with the help of the finance department, other verticals of the finance department. So you are aware that new registrations of videos have been phenomenal in the last financial year. Basically, finance department made it mandatory for their videos that PSA system will not accept their bills unless they get registered. So we have around 5,326 new registrations of DBOs last financial year. Overall, our registrations have also increased by 23% in the last financial year. And there is this Apna TDS portal which has been a revolutionary step. So I will come to it in detail, just a passing reference. Basically, this is helping us to track payments real time, which have been done by government DBOs to works contractors and other taxpayers in terms of having this responsibility of doing 2% TDS and then we tracking whether they have paid the rest of the 16% or 10% that was due to them. And sir, our friends from J&K Bank are here as well. We have written to J&K Bank, sir, this idea that if they can provide us a detail of all the bank accounts, business bank accounts, current bank accounts in J&K, who have had an input, from the input side, who had a credit of more than 20 lakh or 40 lakh in the financial year, which basically is the threshold for getting registered under services head or under the goods head. If we can get that data set, then one by one we can, basically it will take time, but we can at least identify a lot of people who have a business which is giving them a threshold, but they are not registered with the department. So the second strategy, we use various kinds of data. I will not dwell much on that. Next slide. This is basically the strategy that we use to catch people who are involved in suppression of sales and valuation. Next slide. So one thing I wanted to show here is that stock taking exercise. So this is something that we did as an innovation, and so recently we had the center state coordination meeting and this was appreciated, and other states were also told to follow this. So what usually happens is that once a businessman suppresses his sales, that means what he is doing is that his purchases are here, but he is suppressing the sales. That means that the sales are having, purchases are coming, it should be in his stock. But it is not in his stock. What he has done, he has sold it, but he has just not shown it in his returns. So we have embarked on this exercise of doing regular stock taking. And sir, the results have been very impressive. Next slide. Sir, just one exercise for 1 month in Kashmir division, and the demand stays are basically 10% of the annual collection from the division. So this has been a very important innovation that we have done. Next.